So I saw our friends over at the WEF, the World Economic Forum, home of our buddy Klaus, put this out about if you would like to participate in society, you need these trips. And if you saw my last video about seeing all the people that had the procedure a couple years ago, seeing all their IPs pop up on my friend's phone or that app in Target, then for the most part people are kind of chipped already, you know. But this is like their proprietary chip. In the future, like, your body will you know, be a battleground of who can put their advertising in it, you know, because you already have the COVID thing in there, those who had the thing, and now you get the WEF want to put their thing in there, and there's going to be another company that says, well, no, you need to have this, and it'll just be a normal thing where you'll have several proprietary technologies inside your body and your bloodstream, you know. Just how it's going to be. I mean, it sounds to some people, probably not everyone, but it probably sounds far-fetched, fantastical. Like, that will never happen, but it will. There's a lot of things right now in the world that I thought would never happen or would never see, you know, or things that would become accepted or normalized that have been accepted and normalized. So to me, it's like, yeah, give it, I don't know, 15 years. I mean, people already have that stuff in them, and they willingly went and had it put in them. And it's like, you know, well, they didn't know what was in there. They didn't know what was in there, period. I mean, it shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone about anything that's in there. I mean, no one really been asked questions about it. They just fucking did it. You know, just like that. It's like, God. Yeah, there's a 95% thing where you just feel like, wow, these, you know, they're kind of like robots. They're gonna do whatever the what the fuck you call it? Speaking of robots, I think my fucking hard drive just fucking froze. Sometimes I got like 10 thoughts at once, and then the traffic cop on my mind's gotta be like, all right, you stand over here, you come through. Yeah, people just listen to the OS, really, the operating system of the area, and just do whatever it says. And I know that, you know, they're kind of victims in this situation that they're born into. But it's like, it's hard not to load them sometimes, you know? And you can't, because you're supposed to try to help, you know? Kind of. Like, I went through this thing where it was like, wow, I'm here, I work for God, you know, he's the boss. Supposed to kind of try to help each other and help uplift each other, but as time goes on, I feel like that's more for the other 5%ers. You know what I mean? Like, help, when they say help each other, well, those people aren't me, and I'm not them, and we're not anywhere near the same. So I don't think they count, you know? I don't think it's everybody. You know, at least I'm starting to come around to that, because I mean, most of the 95%ers would turn me into the police in a second if the OS told them I was doing something wrong and that you have to report your neighbors. I mean, I used to get in fights all the time about the stupid mask, like not having it over my nose correctly. You know, total strangers. And it was like the meme. It was always like, oh, I'm doing it for your health, bro. It's for your benefit. It's like, for my benefit, I'd never seen you before until these last 3 seconds. You're worried about my health, are you? And no, you're just a fucking cunt is what it is. But Cole says, excuse me, I was taking a sip of my fucking boomer juice. Cole says you're not going to be able to participate in society unless you have his particular proprietary technology inside your body. It's fucking nuts. It's nuts, you know. But I don't know exactly what he means. by participating in society. I'm assuming it's a thing like what they were trying to attempt to do with the Vax card, where you can't travel or you can't go into certain stores. Here in Hawaii, like, there were places like that required a vaccination to go into. Certain restaurants, certain stores, depending on how liberally progressive they were. The more progressive they were, the more tyrannical the outlook was, which is kind of funny. I mean, that's the irony of the situation. The more open-minded and progressive they were, the more bullshit you had to deal with. So there are places that, like, and I've talked about this before, where I wrote these places off in my mind. So when I walk by them now, it's in my head as a place I can't go into, even though now I can. You know, it was so much strum and crying about whether you could show your card and if you wanted to sit down. We went to, what is it, like fucking Bickford's? I don't know. One of those fucking places. IHOP. And we had to fill out a form to eat there. Of course, we just put whatever bullshit on it, and a contact phone number. You had to fill out a form in case there was, like, I don't know, in case someone came up as having the COD. They were going to contact all the people that were in there at the same time. All of this stuff, this crazy red tape like that. And now it's just like, it's never happened. It's completely forgotten. All these places that you had to go through all this stuff to get into, now you just walk right in the door. No restrictions, you know. It was madness, you know. And the robots, the 95%, why don't you forget about that? And they're kind of forgetting about it too. And for a lot of them, if you bring it up, they get upset, you know. They floated the idea of amnesty a few times, and it was pretty much struck down laughably by those who saw the overtures in the media. The idea being, well, we just didn't know. We were all under the shadow of doubt and confusion. It's like, I never was. Before the fucking shadow even loomed on the horizon, I already knew. I knew before, you know, a lot of people did. I'm not saying I'm fucking special Jake, but a lot of us did. You could see exactly what they were going to do. It was so telegraphed. And if you follow the story in the 80s of HIV and the way that was developed or created with Dr. Fauci, him and some other guy, in the 1980s, if you knew anything about that, this is just this thing that happened a couple years ago, the same thing. They invent a thing that doesn't exist and then tell you you need a thing to keep you safe from the thing that doesn't exist. And the thing that you take to keep you safe from the thing is the thing that is a real danger. Exactly what they did here. I know you can keep up with me, but I can't, you know, I've got to be careful how I say these things. With the HIV thing, they added like an extra step that they kind of just removed from this one. It's much easier. The HIV thing was an indirect kind of, well, this is a thing you could get if you have this thing. But if you take this to get rid of that thing, they don't have to worry about getting it. You just skip that middleman step with the cold thing. And if you think about it now, and again, something else you bring up, people got upset. You know, how dare you? But how do you have a disease, right? Well, I mean, it's just as stupid as COVID. But you have a like something that can tell your sexual preference. You have a disease that can, like, it only affects gay men, right? They're saying is how it was presented to us. As the years went on, though, they needed to create more hysteria with it. It wasn't good enough. So then all of a sudden it turned into like anybody can get it if you share a drink with someone. You know, it always starts off with intravenous needle users, people that do a certain kind of sexual acts, and then it just devolves into if you drink out of the same cup. Because as the fear starts to wear off from a concept, they have to keep expanding, throwing stuff on the pile to make it still remain scary. It's all made up. It's all made up. All made up fear. They want fear. Fear is the objective emotional state they need you in. For a lot of reasons, but you're much easier to control in fear. That's the lowest state you can be in. They can tell you, because you'll do anything. You know, you'll call the Gestapo on me for having visitors during lockdown. Like the fear will make you do anything. So they got to keep you in fear. And when you're in fear, they can suck your fucking energy. They can't take it from you if you're functioning in a high vibrational space. They can't digest that energy. It's very much a digestion thing too. It's like, you know, when I first started hearing people talk about this concept, I used to think like, well, they're always sucking the energy, but it's more advantageous to have the lower vibrational energy. No, they can only digest the lower vibrational energy. They can't do anything with higher vibrations. That's why they don't. Laughter, that's the whole thing with mocking the devil, like to mock the devil. He gets mad about the laughter. He doesn't like the laughter. It's all based in very old shit. It always goes back to the same stuff. And it always goes back to the same struggle. The devil and God. It's always the same. Always the same. It's never different. Alright, ladies. I think it is. Hey. How you doing, dear? I thought I saw you there from behind. I'm like, I recognize you. You need a light?
I got
Okay, have a good night, dear. So they want you fear. You know, everything's fear. Everything's fear. Be afraid, be afraid, be afraid, be afraid. And then they go, and they can eat it all. Yeah, they can't do anything with the higher vibration. There's nothing they can do with that. It's useless to them. Now, I don't know exactly how they do it. Like, I don't know their method. What's up, man? I don't know what their method of transmutation is. Whether it's a magic technology or what I believe it is, a mix of the both. Just something we just don't understand or can conceive of. You know, we're talking about a lot of stuff that we have no clue how it functions, or a lot of how that world functions. It's like looking through a keyhole with a screen, you know, on top of it, trying to see what shadows are doing. It's very obscure, is what I'm saying. add another adjective onto the pile. So, I mean, we can only, you know, conceive of so many things with how this works, but a lot of the general strokes become evident after a while, especially if you spend time studying this shit. There's a pattern to it, you know, of how they do stuff. And pattern recognition is a good thing to have. 5%ers have it. You know, that's how we notice stuff. You know, the 95%ers, they fucking don't even know what a pattern is. Their fucking pattern is plot. That's what they think it is. Coming up on 333. Ross is the address, because of course it is. I hit 333 in subscribers a couple weeks ago. I felt weird about it. I'm like, I gotta either get rid of one person or I hope someone starts following me. And then now we're past that, but I don't know. Because, I mean, I hear a lot of conflicting things. It's an angel number. But it depends on what kind what lore you're going by. You know, other people will say it's, you know, they'll give you reasons why it's not good, or it's not advantageous to keep seeing it. I always feel like if you keep seeing repeating stuff, like repeating numbers, it's some kind of message. You know, I feel like these synchronicities, these things that the universe throws at you, maybe it's the only way that what is communicating to you can communicate. It's the only way they can, you know? Because in my theory of this place, my grand theory, which I've talked about many times, is it's not, you know, completely whole cloth my own. I put little bits and pieces together to make my own thing. It's kind of how I used to do music in the same way. I like that verse. Oh, I like that chorus. Oh, I like that fucking outro. I'm going to take all that. Now it's called this. It's kind of the same thing, the way I put these theories together. And I'm always surprised when I meet other people, talk to other people, sometimes even hear in the comments where they were thinking the exact same thing. It kind of it gives me a little bit of inspiration that, you know, I'm kind of on the right track. But as far as this place and what it used to be, and it's not a very original idea to think that this is some kind of a training area or school or learning area for the progeny of the divine, what we are, which is God's kid. And I say kid singular because we're all actually one, being split into all these different points of attention that then express themselves as individuals. So fucking Julio over here and Joe over here and fucking Lisa up there, we're all just one thing. We're just the points of attention all split up to observe itself. It sounds like a lot of hoo-hoo, woo-hoo horseshit, but that seems to be the case. You know, that's the conclusion I've kind of come to. And whether it's a training place or a learning place, it was for that. It's not for that anymore. It's been hijacked. And it's basically just a farm, a loose farm. Loose, the word that the Gnostics say is your energy, your life force, your divine mojo. It's referred to as loose with them. Whether or not the Gnostics were real was a prank invented by German college students, which is that's the point of contention. It doesn't matter. They had some really good, not the Gnostics, the Rosicrucians. I just mixed up the Gnostics with the Rosicrucians. The Rosicrucians are are possibly a German college prank. Wow, I got those two things mixed up. Glad I caught that. You know, people that know a little bit about this stuff would be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? You know, to most people, it all sounds fucking mental anyway, so I guess it really doesn't matter. But, so the people that built this place, the main guy being God, his creation, they were kind of locked out of it. Just like in the same way, you may have a problem with your admin on the website for your company or whatever, and then they lock you out of it, so you can't even get into it. That's kind of what happened in a divine sense, you know, in my opinion. And without getting too much into that, I'm just trying to bring it back to the point where sometimes the things that are trying to reach you or to talk to you or to communicate with you can only communicate in these little minor, subtle ways, because they only have the ability to do that. Like, I was talking about that with the Mandela effect, like the way it happens a lot through pop culture stuff, movies and music and things like that. So, man, and it's like they know, almost like it knows that that's what a lot of people look at. You know, because people always say, oh, why is it always, you know, it's always in movies and these. American pop culture stuff, because American pop culture stuff is the stuff seen by most people of all walks of life, of all backgrounds. Everyone in all these third world countries, they know Hollywood movies. So that's like the biggest thing they could aim for, to put stuff in there. And like, well, why would they be changing things in the movie? Because maybe it's the only way they can communicate. So my thought was, perhaps Mandela Effect is really something trying to communicate with us, and this is one of the only ways it can do so. Well, what would be trying to communicate with us? Well, something that's been locked out of the system. Something that used to be able to communicate with us and can't anymore. So when I see little repeating numbers or synchronicities and stuff, I always kind of feel like it's part of that family. I might be completely wrong, but, you know, it's something to think about. That could pretty much go for everything I say here on this channel. I could be wrong, but it's something to think about. Not a lot of luck on the demon tip. Luck. But yeah, I haven't really haven't gotten any bites there in a long time. Look at this. It's all fucking Illuminati, fucking weirdo shit. All these windows are full of it. All symbolism. You know, especially the hoity-toity places. Well, they're all kind of hoity-toity places. It's a weird place to come vacationing. Because it's so expensive, right? Just to get here. Hotel accommodations are insane. They nickel and dime you for everything. And then you come out here on the strip, and none of these stores are for like normal people. They're all like super duper high end. You know, $10,000 handbags and things like that. Like, normal people don't shop in places like this. And take this side street. There's nothing like that, like a family can do. That's why I don't understand it when they come here. I see families with kids. It's like, what are you doing here? Like the beaches, overcrowded. There's nothing special about them. Like if you have a beach near your house, same fucking thing. The water's clear. Oh, it looks clear. It's a little warmer. But I grew up on the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. In the summers, my family would move up to the beach, and yeah, like there's nothing here that is like specific to here that you're really, well, unless you're into like scuba diving or stuff like that, or you're into like adventure trail hiking, things like that. But for like your average family, I don't know why the fuck they come here. I really don't. It's just gotten worse as far as like the trouble, the violence, and the fucking, no, we talk about that too many times. There's just a lot of characters here, a lot worse than it used to be. There's all like cool little shops like this, like local stuff. But like, see this, like what they sell there? There's 100 stores just like that where they sell. And they have a little village behind Ross of all those shops. They all sell the same stuff. There's a couple cool jewelry places like this where I got this shit. And I visit them quite a bit. Relatively. Because I always lose these things and I have to go buy new ones. They're real easy to lose for some reason. The Italian place has been here a while. Mediterranean. Yeah, it's been here a while. It's always pretty crowded too. There's always people there. Oh, they moved the big statue. Maybe it was only here for a little bit. Oh, there it is. Yep. Still there. That's cool. They moved this around. Yokozuna. Not the Yokozuna. Not our Yokozuna. But a Yokozuna. It's weird that Yokozuna popped up because I was in the store over in Long's just now. I'm looking through the potato chip section. And I was looking at the scanning of my eyes. And for some reason, I thought I saw Kamala, the Ugandan giant, on one of the packs. You know, like how they have promotional for movies or whatever, and they'll have someone like in the corner. In the side of my eye, I thought I saw Kamala on like a bag of Ruffles. I'm like, wow. Am I on drugs? Not know it? Oh, what the fuck did I just walk into here? Look at this. This is funny. Piece of plywood over a hole. That's why, man. You could bounce up and down on that thing. Like, look at this. Here's how they left the sidewalk. This is how they left the sidewalk. Now, you're supposed to not be where I am. They want you to walk in the street. Unbelievably. Yeah, that's how they do things. It's third world, guys. Third world. Not like, that's not super smart, like, planning. They have it literally roped up so that you have to walk in the street. You don't want to walk in the street here. The most retarded drivers in the nation. Well, it's not really the nation, to be honest here. But, yeah, you don't want to walk in the street here. Unless you have a fucking death wish. But yeah, they do shit like that all the time. They just leave holes and things. And that hole in the ground was covered with a piece of plywood. Like always. I walked over the thing and it bounced. And this one, you would think that it's being laid out too, but by pretty big people. You know, because probably a local, well, it's definitely a local construction crew. And they're pretty big people. Put a piece of plywood over a hole? I mean, I walk over it and I bounce on that thing. Then again, you're not suing anybody here. You try suing the fucking city. Disappear. They'll get lighthoused, as they say up on the North Shore. Some really fucked up looking people here tonight. Just walked by a dude that looked like he would be the prequel Michael Myers or something, like in a horror movie where they go to like the early life of the fucking monster. Yeah, that's a weird character out here. But anyway, to bring us all back to the beginning, yeah, WEF says you're not going to be able to participate in sight. I think that's fine. They tried to do that before. It didn't really work out all that well. And even when they were trying to do it during the cold thing, immediately people started to get a black market ways to survive and not have to comply. You know, that's why they don't want you farming. They don't want you to have a garden. They don't want you to grow your food because they want to force you. I mean, this is fairly obvious shit. Forcing you to go to their fucking Food Mart, fucking USA, or Food Mart, WEF. Things are going to become more and more consolidated. You'll have a WEF Mart. You'll have a cutout in the front of the store of Klaus. He'll be guiding you through the aisles, telling you what's on sale. It's all about consolidation, cattle consolidation. It is a farm after all. And they're kind of done with the complexities of all these different societies and all these different economic tiers and cultures. They want to squish them all together like a Play-Doh until it's just this gross fucking misshapen, miscolored lump. And they can keep their eye on that a lot easier. And they know if they consolidate all the brains together, you know they're going to end up with some kind of fucking retarded Frankenstein because there's more stupid people in the world than smart people. You know, that's usually right along the lines of first and third world. So it's very important to them that they mash them together. But again, it's going to take a long time. But as I was talking to one of my friends the other day about how this, he brought up that it feels like they have like a time machine or something, and they're going along subtly positioning things. He said because the way things have worked out, or they've unfolded, especially in recent times, it's almost as if there's someone guiding everything to fall into place. And he mentioned, yeah, it's almost like they have a time machine. Now, when I talk to different people, you don't want to, like, you know, you can only go so far sometimes, and I kind of parse out. Not saying he wouldn't be open to hearing more of the more wild theories, but you want to ease into that stuff. That's why when, my neighbors come to me like, there's a lot of fucking black people, where the fuck we all come from? I can't start going into, well, it's a CIA program, you just can't do that. So instead I just go, yeah, I don't know. Plus, if you start talking like that, giving them like all this crazy information, then they're going to start looking at you weird. And then when someone in the ice cream van in another time, and we have another situation like the COVID one, which they're going to try to do again, of course, and people start asking questions about things. Hey, that guy over there, we're talking about the CIA and military operations. Oh, yeah, where does he live? Again, that's why I don't want you to be friendly with your neighbors. So when the ice cream van pulls up and they want to drag you out of your house, none of the neighbors object if they don't know you. They just think, oh, wow, I fucking wonder what he did. Glad I'm not him. But if you're friendly with them and they know who you are and you talk to them, someone, instead of hiding behind their curtain, might say, hey, why are you doing that? Why are you dragging them into the ice cream van? You know what I mean? So they can't have you know or be friendly with you. They want to keep everybody isolated from everybody else. And part of that process is not letting people that are the same kind of live together. They put 10 different races of people right next to each other and racial disharmony. I'm not going to talk to fucking Ugandans living next door to me. Fuck that. I want to live a little bit longer. So it's like that helps to break up this harmony. It's one of the many, many, many reasons why they try to do that melting pot bullshit. I remember hearing that too, like on Sesame Street or one of these things on a public TV as a kid. The Great American Melting Pot. They've got a song about it. Statue of Liberty. Give me you're tired, you're weak, you're stupid, you're retarded, you're third worlders. No one would. The person that would say that, to put a beacon out in the fucking water saying, give me all your dregs, your enemy would do that. Your enemy would advocate for a melting pot for you. Someone that seeks your destruction. Be Amish. The poor Amish. They're the stand-in people for all the problems, all the problematic folks. Their fucking ears are burning when I start recording. I guess they are kind of a bit of a problem though. Someone was talking about them on some message board. It's probably 4chan. Or was it 4? I don't know, something else maybe. They're talking about how they live near some Amish people and they're always kind of going through their mail. Or they are stealing, they're trying to steal packages from them or something. So yeah, they kind of suck too. So maybe they are problematic people. But the reason I always use the Amish is because there's not a lot of them online. So I can get away with inserting them into the space, into the names of other problematic groups. So I'm not talking too much about things for the algorithm. Always trying to dodge the eye of Sauron. Hopefully it gets easier. I'm really putting a lot of stock in that Trump thing, and I shouldn't. How he's going to clean up social media censorship. But at the same time, he's talking about doing the, stamping out anti-Semitism. So it's like, we might get some leeway for some situations, but less for another. I don't know. I've kind of, I've been interneting since 1996 in earnest. So I kind of know how to dodge around things. That's why I'm always so fucking floored when I get one of my Instagram bans for something egregious, like inciting violence or hate speech, or I would never be stupid enough to do something that would fall into that category. And most of the time, as you know, I've gone over ad nauseum, it doesn't fall into it. There's something they didn't like, or well, they just don't like me, you know. Just like those other problem groups, just like the Amish. Oh, funny story. I've often said about about black people, like white people always trying to appease them or show they're an ally, or it doesn't matter what you do or how you apologize or actions you take. I would always say, as an example, if they had a button, right, that they could push to wipe you and all your people out, they would push it in an instant. Your head would spin. And then I found this Twitter post. So, like, there you go. I'm going to take that as absolute proof that I was 100% right. We're going to double tag that settled science, and we're going to move on. But yeah, that's yeah. I didn't need to hear them say it. I know that. But stupid people they'll die on that hill trying to help people like that, kneeling down, kissing their feet. You get what you deserve, you know. Those that know would never kneel anyway. Kneel to any man. Hey, what's up? Kneel to God. See you next time. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.